Please welcome Democratic National Convention Secretary Jason Ray.
Well, good evening, delegates. My name is Jason Ray, and I'm honored to serve as the secretary of both the Democratic National Committee and the Democratic National Convention. I remember watching my very first convention on television when I was just 10 years old. It was the 1996 convention right here at the United Center. Now, nearly 3 decades later, I could not be more thrilled to join you in making history as we nominate Vice President Kamala Harris. Pursuant to our convention rules, we will now proceed with a celebratory roll call vote for the Democratic Party's candidate for the 47th President of the United States of America. As a reminder, our nomination was made official on August 6th upon the certification of the virtual roll call. This roll call will reflect those results. The chair of each delegation or their designee will report its delegation's voting results for the presidential nomination. Pursuant to the rules, the roll call will follow the alphabetical order of the states, with the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, the territories, and Democrats abroad treated as states for the purposes of the alphabetical roll call. Delegates, are you ready? Let me hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is DJ Cassidy, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Democratic National Convention roll call. Now we're gonna pass the mic from state to state so that all our voices are heard all around the nation. But first, let me pass it back to Secretary Ray to get the celebration started.
Alabama, how do you cast your vote? Alabama passes. Delaware, how do you cast your votes?
On behalf of the great state of Delaware, home of our beloved 46th President of the United States, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.,
it is our honor to unanimously cast our 34 votes for the next President of the United States, Vice President Kamala Harris!
Thank you, Delaware. Alabama, how do you cast your votes?
In a letter from the Birmingham jail, Dr. King wrote that progress is not inevitable. We have to fight for it. We have to win it. Kamala Harris will protect the legacy and the progress that we've made by our forefathers and our foremothers, and she will advance it. She will safeguard our freedom to vote by passing the John Robert Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. She will fight for freedom and opportunity and build an economy that works for everyone. So, from Huntsville to Mobile, from the Black Belt to the Wiregrass, from the historic civil rights cities of Birmingham, Montgomery, and my hometown of Selma, from the people who brought us the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act, the proud, great state of Alabama proudly cast 56 votes for the first Black woman President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, and the next Vice President, Tim Walz.
cast your vote?
Alaska's motto is North to the Future. And that's exactly where Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to take us. A future full of opportunity for everyone. As a teacher, a union member, and a proud Black woman, it is my honor to cast Alaska's 19 delegates for the next president of these United States, Kamala Harris.
American Samoa, how do you cast your vote?
Solidified. Here in American Samoa, faith, service, and community are everything. That's why we cast 10 votes for our next president, Kamala Harris.
Now, once again, my name is DJ Cassidy, and this is the DNC roll call. So let's pass the mic around the nation.
Arizona, how do you cast your vote?
Buenas tardes. From the Grand Canyon state of Arizona, the future of the Democratic Party, where we've been bringing the heat since 2020, electing Democrats up and down the ballot. Our diverse coalition is proud to cast our 85 votes for Kamala Harris.
Arkansas, how do you cast your vote?
On behalf of the great state of Arkansas, home of American legends Johnny Cash and Sister Rosetta Tharpe, home of the trailblazing civil rights leaders Daisy Bates and the Little Rock Nine, and home of the birthplace of President William Jefferson Clinton, who inspired all of us in a place called Hope. Arkansas casts our votes for Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz.
California, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, the great state of California passes at this time.
California passes. Colorado, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, in Colorado, we know how to climb mountains, and we're going to make sure Kamala Harris and Tim Walz reach the summit and win this election. Colorado proudly casts its votes for Kamala Harris. Get it go!
Connecticut, how do you cast your vote?
Connecticut, the Constitution state, home of the submarine, home of the jet engine, home of the Yukon Huskies slam dunk, home of Keith Richards lead guitar. We vote.
Tonight, we cast 73 votes and one president for the first female president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Now we're passing the mic all around the world tonight. So let's join together. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's go!
Democrats abroad, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, Democrats Abroad represents millions of Americans who live abroad and vote back home in all 50 states and in D.C. U.S. citizens can go to votefromabroad.org to register and request a ballot. On behalf of our large, diverse community, we joyfully cast 21 votes for Kamala Harris!
The District of Columbia, how do you cast your vote?
We are Washington, D.C., home to 700,000 Americans, where millions had marched for jobs and justice, where Dr. King had a dream and Obama had hope, and where in January 2025, we will host the inauguration of President Kamala Harris. Washington, D.C., the 51st state. The District of Columbia is proud to cast its 51 votes for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Florida, how do you cast your vote?
Florida is worth fighting for. That's why we're fighting back against Project 2025 and Republican extremism. We won't go back. We won't back down. I cast 4 votes present and 243 votes in the great state of Florida for the first president, first female president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Georgia, how do you cast your vote?
Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight to officially nominate Kamala Harris for president. Five, get loud, another round of shots. DAC, turn out for what? Turn out for what? Hey, turn out for what? Yeah! Turn out for what? Let's go, let's go! Turn out for what? Hey, everybody get your hands up! Hey, everybody get your hands up! Hey, everybody get your hands up! Now, say, we're not going back! We're not going back! We're not going back! We're not going back! VP Harris! Coming to wall! VP Harris! Giving the wall! Hey!
Mr. Secretary, the South's got something to say. I'm Congresswoman Nikema Williams, chairwoman of the Democratic Party of Georgia. Georgia, the home of President Jimmy Carter, the cradle of the civil rights movement, where we fight for our freedom. Extremists in Georgia are trying to silence our voices by kicking Georgians off of the rolls and making it harder to vote. But y'all, when we send Kamala Harris to the White House, she'll fight for our freedom to vote, our
reproductive freedoms and our freedom to thrive. In the spirit of good trouble, Georgia cast 123 votes for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Guam, how do you cast your vote?
Hafide Todo Centro. I am Governor Noom Young Guerrero, the first female governor of our beautiful island of Guam. The home of the indigenous Chamorro people. And where America's Day begins. And we proudly cast our 12 votes to the next first female president of the United States of America. Viva Kamala! Viva Kamala! Viva Kamala!
Aloha, Hawaii, how do you cast your vote?
America, thank you all for loving Hawaii. The spirit of aloha means acting with love and kindness. Our Hawaii was the first state to legalize abortion. Our state was the first to ratify the ERA. Our state was the first to pass universal health care for all and target 100% renewable energy. Our state is the birthplace of Barack Obama. Our state shares the values of Kamala Harris, and we cast 6 votes present and 23 votes for Kamala Harris. First woman president.
Idaho, how do you cast your vote?
Republicans ripped away our reproductive freedoms. The Idaho Democrats are mounting our comeback. For the first time in decades, we're running in every legislative district. We are not going back. Idaho cast 27 votes for Kamala Harris.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is a celebration. A celebration of democracy. A celebration of freedom. A celebration of future. Chicago, are you ready?
Our convention host, Illinois, how do you cast your vote?
Secretary, Illinois Democrats are doing the work to win in November, and I am proud to introduce my partner in the fight, my governor, J.B. Pritzker!
The great state of Illinois, the prairie state, home of 4 presidents, including President Barack Obama. The birthplace of skyscrapers and the adopted home of Superman. The cornerstone of the Midwest Blue Wall. The first state to ratify the 13th Amendment ending slavery. And the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote. Illinois casts 1 vote present and 176 votes for the next president of the United States, future Madam President Kamala Harris.
do you cast your vote?
Indiana welcomed me into its heart. Indiana welcomed me into its heart as soon as I married Christine Harrell from Rolling Prairie. And that's before I lived in Hawkins or played the littlest player with the biggest heart at the University of Notre Dame, Rudy. I want what's best for Indiana, and that means electing Kamala Harris, the first woman president of the United States of America.
On behalf of the great Hoosier State, home of the largest single sporting day event in the world, the Indy 500, home of Michael Jackson, home of Babyface, home of David Letterman, Indiana delivers its 86 delegates to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as the next president and vice president.
Iowa, how do you cast your vote?
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The tall corn state of Iowa, the state that launched Barack Obama on his way to the presidency, the state that put education on its state quarter, and the state that feeds and fuels the world, casts one vote absent and 45 votes for the next president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Kansas, how do you cast your vote?
I can't hear. Hello, delegates from the center of America, the Sunflower State, Kansas, where our farmers feed America, where we elect strong women who govern from the middle. As the first ever black chair of Kansas, I am proud to cast our 39 votes for the first black woman president, Kamala Harris!
The Commonwealth of Kentucky, how do you cast your vote?
Since 2021, the Biden-Harris administration has shown up for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and today we're showing up for Vice President Harris. With this administration, we've broken every record for private sector investment, exports, tourism, wages, and new jobs. Together, we're building the 2 largest battery plants on planet Earth, and we opened the cleanest, greenest recycled paper mill the world has ever seen. We are proud to cast 56 votes for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Louisiana, how do you cast your votes?
Greetings from Louisiana. Mr. Secretary, my name is Wendell Pierce, and I'm a proud son of Louisiana. And Louisiana is
about family, and I'm surrounded by my family of the delegates of Louisiana. And our great Congressman, Troy Carter.
Louisiana casts its votes in support of our democracy, and we stand in line for a more perfect union.
And born out of that democracy from the Big Easy, the northernmost Caribbean city, the last Bohemia was jazz. And nothing could be more emblematic of jazz and democracy than what we swing with in the Big Easy. And it's because of that that I am here to cast my personal vote for the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris. And now, the leader of our party, Mr. Randall Gaines.
The great state of Louisiana, a state that embodies the principles and spirit of hope and resilience, and so does Kamala Harris. The great state of Louisiana cast its one vote present, and our 47 votes for the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway there. Are you ready? Here we go, here we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Next up is Maine. Maine, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Chair, great state of Maine, home of environmental climate activists and champions like Edmund S. Muskie and George Mitchell. Happy birthday today, George. The state where the sun rises first on the nation over our bold and rocky coast, bringing with it today a new day for the brave and open-hearted people of this country. We have improved lives, restored rights, and preserved our environment in Maine for future generations. Maine leads, and as Maine goes, so will go the nation.
Maine proudly cast 30 votes for our next president, Kamala Harris.
Maryland, how do you cast your vote?
We are Maryland! And we represent Marylanders past and present who have contributed to America's greatness. We are the birthplace of Harriet Tubman. We are the birthplace of Thurgood Marshall. We are the birthplace of Frederick Douglass. We are the place where soldiers defended our freedoms in Baltimore and also in Antietam, and the home of thousands of veterans who call Maryland home. And this community of patriots is proud to cast our votes for the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, the people of Massachusetts know something about making history. The first Thanksgiving in Plymouth, the first public school, the first public library where we don't ban books. Health care for all, and the first shots fired in our revolution. And we are proud, as the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, to make history once again. Mr. Secretary, Massachusetts counts 116 votes, all of our votes, for Kamala D. Harris for the office of President of the United States.
Michigan, how do you cast your votes?
Good evening from the Great Lakes State. I'm Michigan Democratic Party Chair LaVora Barnes. Michigan has an incredible story. We put the world on wheels and we built the middle class.
And I'm Senator Debbie Stabenow. We are getting things done in Michigan in 2022. We flipped our state House of Representatives for the first time in 40 years. We're getting it done in Michigan.
And I'm Governor Gretchen Whitmer. We cut taxes. We protected freedoms. We brought manufacturing home, and we know how to win. This November, we're marching together. Michigan cast 125 votes for our next president, Kamala Harris.
Minnesota, how do you cast your votes?
Mr. Secretary, the great state of Minnesota, home of Vice President Hubert Humphrey, Vice President Walter Mondale, and the next Vice President of the United States, Tim Walz. We pass.
Minnesota passes. Mississippi, how do you cast your votes?
Mr. Secretary, I'm State Chair Shaq Taylor from the home of magnolias and mockingbirds, from the great state of Mississippi, from the Red Clay Hills to the Mississippi River. To our Gulf Coast, we're proud of our heroes such as Fannie Lou Hamer and our special guest, Mr. January 6th, the Honorable Benny G. Thompson. With great joy, Mississippi delivers 40 votes for our future president, Ms. Kamala Harris.
Now tonight is a celebration of love, a celebration of life. So let the celebration continue.
Missouri, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, I'm Russ Carnahan, Chairman of Missouri Democrats. We're home to Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. We are home to common sense leaders like President Truman, Senators Eagleton, Carnahan, McCaskill, and we will fire Josh Hawley and hire Marine veteran Lucas Coons. Our voters will reclaim reproductive freedom. Kamala Harris has sent a lightning bolt of energy and hope across this country, and we proudly cast 2 votes present and 68 votes for Kamala Harris and our Midwestern friend, Tim Walz.
Montana, how do you cast your vote?
We, the delegates of the proud state of Montana, on behalf of Big Sky Country, the last best place in these United States, I'm grateful for the beauty of our land and determined to protect it for future generations.
We who sent the first woman to Congress proudly cast our 24 delegate votes to send the first woman to the White House, Kamala Harris!
Nebraska. How do you cast your vote?
Nebraska, home of 4 tribal nations today, and icons Malcolm X, Standing Bear, and Willa Cather, and our homegrown homeboy, Tim Walz.
And the quality of life capital of the country, Lincoln, capital of Husker Nation, where the Biden-Harris team and unions are rebuilding the heartland.
In Omaha, now affectionately known as Kamaha, but we will protect the blue dot.
We are ready for it. Nebraska proudly casts our 34 votes for Kamala Harris and Coach Tim Walz.
Nevada, how do you cast your vote?
As a survivor of the largest mass shooting in modern American history, I'm voting for Kamala Harris because America is done running from gun violence. No more pretending books are more dangerous to second graders than assault rifles. No more stolen lives. No more silent streams. No more shattered families. As Vice President, she helped pass the nation's first significant gun safety law in 30 years. Nevada is the battle-born state, and Kamala Harris was born for this battle! Now our chair, Danielle Monroe-Moreno. Nevada is the most diverse battleground state in the country, home of the late, great Senator Harry Reid, the only Latina ever to serve in the U.S. Senate, Catherine Cortez Masto, and we are the first and only women-majority state legislature. As Nevada's first black woman chair, I proudly deliver the Silver State's 48 votes for the next president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Today we come together as one nation, under one groove. Nothing can stop us now. So no matter who you are, no matter where you are, represent your state with pride as we unite for the future.
New Jersey, how do you cast your vote?
Everybody, I'm Governor Phil Murphy. We're from Jersey, baby, and you're not. In the Great Garden State, we care about protecting women's rights and lifting up vulnerable communities. That's what we mean when we say the Great Garden State.
My name is Dr. Joey Perella, pronouns she, her, hers. I'm a proud resident of the Garden State. I'm proud to stand with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because they stand with the LGBTQ community. It's time to turn the page on Trump. Thank you.
I'm Leroy Jones, the chairman of the New Jersey State Committee, the home of the late, great Whitney Houston. And New Jersey and these amazing delegates cast 2 votes present and 142 votes for Kamala Harris, President of the United States of America. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win.
New Mexico, how do you cast your vote?
Buenas noches! Chair Jessica Velasquez.
York, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, my name is Henry Garrido. I am from the great state of New York. Unions not only built the Empire State, they built a strong middle class across this country. That is why I'm so proud to introduce the governor of the greatest labor state of the country, Governor Kathy Hochul.
As governor of the greatest state that ever existed. Hey, for New Yorkers, get used to it. From Seneca Falls, the birthplace of the women's rights movement, to Stonewall, the birthplace of the LGBTQ movement, to Stone King Mountain, the birthplace of the environmental justice movement, and the birthplace of the labor movement. We are also not just the birthplace of great progressive movements, we are the birthplace of Shirley Chisholm. We are the birthplace of Geraldine Ferraro. And we are the home of Hillary Clinton. And that's why, as the first woman governor of New York, I am so proud to cast 298 votes to make Kamala Harris the first female president of the United States of America.
North Carolina, how do you cast your vote?
My name is Anderson Clayton. I have the honor of serving as the youngest state party chair in this country. And North Carolina is the home of folks like Anthony Hamilton. Yeah, Governor Jim Hunt, Dr. Reverend William Barber, Nina Simone. We represent a new South. And we are proud to be that again this year by electing Josh Stein, Allison Riggs, Wesley Harris, Anita Earls, and everyone else that's on our ballot this year. We are going to make sure that we put Democrats on the ballot and in people's hearts and minds. North Carolina gives 131 votes to the phenomenal Kamala Harris.
North Dakota, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, the Democrats of North Dakota, the Peace Garden State, are proud to cast our 17 votes for Vice President Kamala Harris and the best neighbor you could ever hope to have, Governor Tim Walz, for President and Vice President of the United States of America. Let's go!
So now, ladies and gentlemen, my name is DJ Cassidy. This is the DNC Roll Call, and tonight, your voice is the future.
Northern Mariana Islands, how do you cast your vote?
Half a day, Tiro, and hello, everyone. We are the Northern Mariana Islands, where our customs, our culture, our land, and our oceans breathe life into our people. The earth is not red or blue. The earth is sick, and we must protect it. Home to some of the living legends in celestial navigation and to some of the friendliest people in the Pacific. We are the blue waves of the Pacific, and we are proud to cast all 11 votes for our MVP, Kamala Harris. Viva Marianas!
your vote?
Mr. Secretary, Ohioans know how to make history. We put a man on the moon, and we are the founding home of the AFL-CIO. We enshrined abortion rights in our state constitution by 13 points, and we are going to send Sherrod Brown back to the U.S. Senate. As the first woman to lead Ohio Democrats, I am proud to cast our ballots for the first woman to be President of the United States. Mr. Secretary, we cast 1 vote present and 142 votes for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Oklahoma, how do you cast your vote?
Hello from Oklahoma, where we fight for the future for all Oklahomans can be proud of. The future where working families thrive, our diversity is our strength, and our values like freedom, equality, and opportunity puts us ahead and makes Oklahoma proud. We cast our 36 votes for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Oregon, how do you cast your vote?
From the first state in the nation to hold a presidential election with all mail-in voting, Oregon is proud to protect voting rights in America.
And hailing from the heart of the beautiful Pacific Northwest, Oregon protects our planet and fights for LGBTQ equality.
Party people in the place to be. We're now passing the mic at the DNC. It goes 1, 2, 3, let's go!
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, how do you cast your vote?
Let's go, Pennsylvania, let's go! My name is Mayor DeJuan Walker from the great city of Aliquippa, Beaver County. My city is a city of legends, the only high school in America with 3 Hall of Famers. I took this seat in 2009 when my sister was murdered. I wanted to do better. 15 years she's been gone. 12 years this city has been under my watch. I'm grateful for the opportunity to lead my city. I'm grateful for the state of Pennsylvania. God bless everyone in this room. I love this state, thank you.
I'm Governor Josh Shapiro. The proud governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the birthplace of democracy, the birthplace of freedom, the greatest Commonwealth of all. And together, Pennsylvania cast 178 votes for the next Madam President of the United States, Kamala Harris, and Vice President Tim Walz.
Puerto Rico, how do you cast your vote?
Buenas noches. Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory known as the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and the next state of the United States, has its 60 votes para la primera mujer afroamericana de ascendencia asiática y caribeña que será presidenta de los Estados Unidos, Kamala Harris. ¡Viva Kamala!
DNC, let's go! Roll call, keep it coming now. Roll call, keep it coming now. Roll call, keep it coming now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go!
Rhode Island, how do you cast your vote?
I am Joe Shikachi, Speaker of the Rhode Island House. We are the smallest state, but we have the biggest ideas. Home to the nation's first wind farm and a historic act on climate, we continue leading the way on sustainability and housing. The deep blue ocean state is proud to cast 1 vote present and 34 ballots for the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
South Carolina, how do you cast your vote?
I'm Crystal Spain. I'm Crystal Spain, Chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party. Hello from the great state of South Carolina, where we pick presidents. The home of the DNC Chair, Jamie Harrison. The home of the first Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. The home of the national basketball champions, the mighty Lady Gamecocks.
I'm Senator Margie Bright Matthews, one of the sister senators, and John F. Kennedy Profiles in Courage Award winner. We stopped the total abortion ban in South Carolina. Like us, Kamala has proven that she has the courage to fight and will fight for all Americans. South Carolina is not going back. We're going forward on reproductive rights. We're going forward on voting rights. We're going forward against hate crimes. Forward with a prosecutor and not a crook. That's why we are proud to cast our 65 delegates for Kamala Harris. ¡Sí se puede!
South Dakota, how do you cast your vote?
How mitakiapi, chante washte na bechuzapalo. In my beautiful Lakota language, that means hello, my relatives. I shake your hand with a happy heart. That is the spirit of my beloved South Dakota. My name is Chante Redis, and I want to say that my people, the Ocheti Shakoan, are still here. The 7 council fires are still here. Let me tell you what a Kamala Harris presidency will mean for me, my friends, and my community. More importantly, more opportunities, more good-paying jobs, better access to health care, and a quality education. That is the future we deserve, and it is the future we will win on November 5th when we elect Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The state of South Dakota is proud to be part of such a historic moment in our country's history. We are a land that is proud of our hardworking farmers and ranchers, that celebrates 9 tribal nations and their incredible cultures, where natural beauty can be seen from the Big Sioux River to Mount Rushmore. South Dakota is honored to cast all 20 of our votes for Vice President Kamala Harris, who will soon be known as Madam President.
Tennessee, how do you cast your votes?
Mr. Secretary, the great state of Tennessee, birthplace of rock and roll, hometown to the blues, the home of 7 HBCUs, and the state that gave women the right to vote.
From the bluffs of Memphis to the peaks of Mountain City, the movement for justice rooted in love in Tennessee is still strong. It is a movement where kids are free from gun violence, a movement where women have the right to choose, a movement where working people get access to economic opportunity, a movement where those who have been pushed to the periphery are brought to the center, a movement where those who have been pushed down are lifted up. It is alive in Tennessee because we believe that justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream, which is why we are so proud to have been the first state in the union to have pledged all of our delegates to Kamala D. Harris.
We cast 72 votes for the first woman and next president of the United States, Kamala D. Harris.
Party people, come on. TNC, party people, come on. Roll call, party people, come on. TNC, party people, come on.
Texas, how do you cast your votes?
Hello, Chicago! I'm Eva Longoria from Corpus Christi, Texas, home of Selena Quintanilla, and I'm here to introduce native Texan Cecile Richards.
I'm proud to be here tonight representing a tradition in Texas of progressivism and my late mother, Ann Richards, the governor of Texas, and passing it on to another great Texas heroine, Kate Cox.
I'm Kate Cox, and I love being a mom. I have two beautiful children, and my husband and I have always wanted a third. But when I got pregnant, doctors told us our baby would never survive. And if I didn't get an abortion, it would put a future pregnancy at risk. But Trump didn't care. And because of his abortion bans, I had to flee my home. There's nothing pro-family about abortion bans. There's nothing pro-life about letting women suffer and even die. Today, because I found a way to access abortion care, I am pregnant again. And my baby is due in January, just in time to see Kamala Harris sworn in as President of the United States.
Mr. Secretary, my name is Gilberto Hinojosa, Chair of the Texas Democratic Party, and as the nation's biggest battleground state with 40 electoral votes on behalf of 30 million Americans. Texas cast 3 votes present and 263 votes for freedom, for the future, for the first woman to serve as the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Utah, how do you cast your vote?
Utah, home of 8 tribal nations, the crossroads of the West, the Beehive State, the host of the 2034 Winter Olympics, the youngest and fastest growing state in the nation, and the next battleground state. Mr. Secretary, we proudly cast 34 votes for Vice President Kamala Harris!
How do you cast your vote?
Vermont knows the value of public education. We even have a teacher as our congresswoman. And in 1777, we were the first state to place public education in our Constitution. As someone with significant learning disabilities, I know the value of investing in every single child. We are proud to call Vermont home, and we are proud to cast our 24 votes for Kamala Harris because we are not going back.
The U.S. Virgin Islands. How do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, we are proud to call the Virgin Islands of the United States our home, a place of resistance and freedom, home of Alexander Hamilton, the first slave rebellion in the Western Hemisphere, the fire-burned queens. We are proud to celebrate a nominee of Caribbean heritage.
From America's Caribbean, the place where the sun rises first in America, from the place of great liberty and the vacation home of President Joe Biden, the Virgin Islanders are strong, resilient, and committed and passionate to vote for the next President of the United States. All 13 votes to Kamala Harris!
The Commonwealth of Virginia. How do you cast your votes?
Mr. Secretary, the Commonwealth of Virginia is proudly represented by Senator Mark Warner and Senator Tim Kaine, majorities in the House of Representatives, with 6 hardworking Congress members and majorities in the General Assembly. We also are proud to be represented by 25,000 hardworking, mostly union workers who build freedom by building aircraft carriers and submarines. Senator Warner.
Virginia, for this year, we're going to return Tim Kaine to the United States Senate. Our Commonwealth of Virginia is proud to cast all 119 votes for the next President, Kamala Harris.
Washington. How do you cast your vote?
From the amber waves of grain and verdant origins of eastern Washington to the iconic waters of the Salish Sea, Washington stands proud as a part of the Blue Wolves. I, the first South Asian woman leading a state party, am honored to pledge 9 votes present and a lucky 101 votes for Vice President Kamala
West Virginia. How do you cast your votes?
My name is Jean Evansmore, and I'm 83 years old. And as such, I am the oldest of the delegates in West Virginia. Most 83-year-olds that I know are spending time with their grandchildren or traveling. But I'm here, suited up and ready to battle. Because I will not, I repeat, I will not let everything I've fought for be taken away by Donald Trump.
My name is Catherine Prather. I am 18 years old, and I am the youngest delegate from West Virginia. I'm suited up and ready for battle because I will not let my freedoms and my future be taken away by Donald Trump. That's why we're proud to cast West Virginia's 24 delegates for the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris!
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is DJ Cassidy. Now, are you ready?
My home state of Wisconsin, how do you cast your vote?
Thank you, Badger Jason Ray, for all your good work. As a proud governor of the great state of Wisconsin, we're home of the Green Bay Packers. We're home of the Wisconsin Badgers. We're home of the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Milwaukee Bucks, as well as U.S. Senator, our best U.S. Senator, Tammy Baldwin. And our great congressional folks, Gwen Moore and Mark Pocan. I'm here because I'm jazzed as hell to announce that Wisconsin passed 1 vote present and 94 votes who were we at? Got me going here. Former Wisconsinite, former state, oh my God. We love you, Jody! We love you, Jody! 94 votes for. I'll get there, Jason, I'll get there. 94 votes for former Wisconsinite, Vice President, and our next President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Wyoming, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary, delegates, my name's Joe Barbudo, and these folks around me, we are honored to be representing the great state of Wyoming. Both the first state and territory in this nation to recognize a woman's right to vote, and the state that 100 years ago elected Democrat Nellie Taylor Ross, our nation's first female governor. With that legacy in mind and heart, the Equality State cast all of our votes for the woman who will be the first woman president of the United States. Say it with me now, Kamala Harris! All right. Good job.
The great state of Minnesota, how do you cast your vote?
Hello, Minnesota! My name is Hans Storvik, and Tim Walz was my neighbor, coach, and favorite teacher. We were excited to go to his classroom every day, and if you've ever been in high school, you know that can be rare. He opened our eyes to the world. He taught us how to talk about global issues with respect, curiosity, and kindness, even and especially when we disagreed. But he wasn't just a great teacher. He was also a great neighbor and friend. In fact, when he was in the midst of a budget battle as governor of our state, he still found time to attend my brother's funeral. Mr. Walz means the world to my family. He's always been there for us, and that's how I know he'll always be there for you as vice president.
Thank you, Hans. Minnesota, let me hear you. There you go. 14 years in the National Football League taught me a lot about leadership. A good leader cannot be selfish. He has to look out for his team. Coach Walsh is unselfish as they come. He has led Minnesota with honesty and integrity. And in November, Minnesota is going to send Tim Walz and Kamala Harris to the White House. Let's go!
I'm Amy Klobuchar, the senator from the great state of Minnesota, where nearly everyone votes and purple reigns.
And I'm Tina Smith from the great state of Minnesota, the home of the next Vice President of the United States, Tim Walz. Minnesota, we cast 10 votes present, and we deliver 81 votes for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
The great state of California. How do you cast your vote?
My name's Governor Gavin Newsom. From the great state of Nancy Pelosi. I come from a state, like our nation, of dreamers, of doers, of entrepreneurs, of innovators, that prides itself on being on the leading and cutting edge of new ideas. California is the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy. And we pride ourselves on our ability to live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable and imaginable difference. But the thing we pride ourselves most on is that we believe the future happens in California first. And Democrats, I've had the privilege for over 20 years to see that future taking shape with a star in Alameda courtroom by the name of Kamala Harris. I saw that star fighting for criminal justice, racial justice, economic justice, social justice. I saw that star get even brighter as Attorney General of California, as a United States Senator, and as Vice President of the United States of America. Kamala Harris has always done the right thing. A champion for voting rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, the rights for women and girls. So Democrats and independents, it's time for us to do the right thing, and that is to elect Kamala Harris as the next President of the United States of America. California, we proudly cast our 482 votes for the next President, Kamala Harris.
Thank you to everyone who participated in our celebratory roll call. Delegates, please know how critical you are to this process, both now and earlier this month when we conducted our virtual roll call. I am thrilled to reaffirm Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. Pursuant to the convention rules of procedure, Vice President Kamala Harris has been invited to make an acceptance speech, which she will give on Thursday, August 22nd.